Obama and he was going to be president, and she said, "Oh my goodness, now I don't have to worry about paying my mortgage."
So, she wanted to identify, but everybody jumped down Rachel's throat because of that. But nobody's jumping down Kamala's throat. Why is it?
If there are 3 things in the category and you think he's guilty of just one, decide that he's guilty on all 3.
If they wanted Kamala, they would have put the 25th Amendment on him. She would automatically become president. But I don't think that's what they want. I don't think they want her. Welcome to Brutally Honest Talk Radio. This is Inger, your host. We're doing a different format. We're just trying it out. You guys know none of this is perfect. We are just doing what we can with what we have where we are. So with that, welcome. We're glad to have you with us. You guys, it feels like we've lived 12 years in the last 2 weeks. So with all the politics and political news going on and breaking news going on, it's just a lot to cover. So thank you for joining us. And I have with me Elmo. How are you doing, Elmo?
I'm doing good. This is a great event. There's a lot going on, like you said. And I like picking through and unpacking this stuff because it's a lot going on.
It is definitely a lot going on. I mean, nonstop. It has been nonstop in the last several weeks. Just when you get your hands on one story, something else is breaking. So you want to kick us off?
Yeah.
Where do we start?
Yeah. So, and I want to say right from the beginning, first of all, people, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to us and click the notification bell. You can also catch us on Amazon, iTunes, and Spotify, as well as other platforms. So this is a popular thing with the transitioning and the stepping down of Biden. So this is different though. When we always try to bring up stuff that we notice that other people may not. So we're scanning the terrain and seeing different things going on. So of course, Biden is transitioning. When he was saying a week ago, "I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to the end.
Yes.
I will don't stop fighting till the fight's over," and all of that, and take it to the wire, take it to the bridge, and all of that. And then, but we know that there's been a lie that's been covered up for years about the condition of Biden. And intelligent people got deceived and fooled because I guess they did a good job of covering it up with the help of the accomplices of the left media organizations. All right. So when something happens like the debate between Biden and Trump, or something happens like the assassination attempt, that is a dividing sword, and people have to go hard to one side or hard to the other. You have to. And so this is what you're seeing in the left media now, and also within the Democrat Party. You see those that are doubling down and going down with the Titanic and holding on and going, "He's the greatest president we've ever had. He's the best that he's ever been. His age is his superpower." And then you got other people going, "Listen, he needs to step down." Nancy Pelosi, did you ever think she would say that it's time for Biden to fold it up?
Never did. Then, she's the politics of the Democrat Party is her religion.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, that's her religion. So, yeah, I was surprised when she said that. But I also wonder what made her say that. There had to be something going on in the background, because she's one to toe the party line. Not only is she one to toe it, she's one to set the party line. So I wonder kind of what made her go in that direction.
I think a big thing and a theme with the Democrats is that they know that after the debate, it was a game changer for Biden and he could not win. And that's the bottom line. They want to win. They want to stay in office. They want somebody, even if they're a puppet, they want them to be a good puppet with no holes in them, so that when they stick their fingers in the puppet, their fingertips won't be coming out of the, out of the edge
of the mouth.
So that's kind of the bottom line in the end game. We have to win. We have to have somebody in there that's gonna win.
I
right?
think so. I think it was a donor thing too, because I was hearing that a lot of the donors were either going to withdraw their money or withhold their money
Hmm.
because they were like everybody was seeing it, and apparently the last people to see it was the media. They were the
Yeah.
last ones to actually say something and say, "Oh my goodness, something's wrong." So I guess they got their orders to do that next, to send that message out to the great unwashed, even though folks could clearly see that there was a problem and he was having issues. They
Yeah.
could clearly see that, you know.
Clearly. I mean, with anything, I try to put the facts on the table and then let people argue with the facts if they want to. But it is a fact that I just saw it today again at Annapolis. Biden falling down. He's fallen on camera more than any other president. And you can tell that there was something going on. When they juxtapose, they don't have to go back to the 80s. They could go back 7-8 years ago and hold up on one side of the screen how he would talk, and then hold up from the debate. And then you got Jean-Pierre Corinne, White House Speaker, press secretary, talking about, well, he started off weak, but he finished strong. What are you talking about? Why are you starting off weak? Why are you starting off weak? You're supposed to go in there, right? And then I think even with that, Biden was given the questions ahead of time, because with his answers, he kind of segued right into, or tried to segue right into the answer of whatever it was, right? So that's one thing.
Right.
And then another thing, dude, not even him. I got to stop blaming Biden. It's elder abuse and the leadership of the party.
Yeah.
The Democrats put out a resignation letter. Biden did he? I thought I saw something where he may have gone on camera and gotten in front of the country, but it felt like they didn't want to take any chances and have like a dignified exiting out and backing out, so that it wouldn't make them look so weak as a party. Right.
If they wanted a dignified exit for him, what they would have done is not let him run for re-election. He would have said, you know what, I'm just going to do one term. This is going to be my only term. I'm going to look forward to going back to Delaware to spend time with my family, to get my presidential library. And that would be that. So if they wanted him to have a dignified exit, that's what they would have done. Secondly, if they wanted Kamala, they would have put the 25th Amendment on him. She would automatically become president, and she would have that incumbency lift behind her if that's what they wanted. But I don't think that's what they want. I don't think they want her.
Well,
I don't.
I think the 25th Amendment was coming if Biden didn't step down. But Obama called him up, said, look, dog, do you have any respect for me? Do you think that I have any kind of a following? And other people that are close to him. So somebody not twisted his arm, but convinced him that he needed to do that. But it was definitely coming, because we're talking about, by every couple of weeks, noticing a difference in decline. Right. So that's one thing.
Right.
And then, so it's the Democrat convention, which I haven't been watching, but it is this week, because the Republican convention. Okay.
It's going to be in August. The DNC is going to be August 19th through the 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So they're going to have theirs next month. We've already, obviously, Republicans have already had ours. So, yeah. And
it looks like Kamala's number one to get the nomination to come in.
It looks like she is. However, I've read an article today that the BLM folks, they are mad that Kamala seems to be the heir apparent, because what they're mad about is that the regular people, the regular folks, the Joe and Blow Schmo, won't be able to vote on the delegates, won't be able to assign the delegates to who they want to assign it to. So BLM says it's not anything, BLM says not anything that is against Kamala, it is against the process. So the DNC process, what happens is that you have celebrities, politicians, former politicians, and donors who get extra, I don't know if it's points or extra votes or whatever, that they get to determine who the nominee is going to be. So BLM is upset that the process is saying that regular folks don't have the votes that they should. So they're saying that quote unquote democracy is being ruined, but the DNC, that is the process of the DNC, and it has been for as long as I know that's been a process. So that's what BLM is upset about. So they don't necessarily want her to be able to be the heir apparent in this process. So that's where they're coming from.
And it's an unusual situation also. You know, where usually somebody would go to term. And then we know that he's not running for president. He's not trying to get reelected. But then within the few months between now and January, will he be presiding? And would she be next in line for that? Because
that is a good question.
Just not able to. And then I saw this thing yesterday. I'm sorry that I didn't finish my thought, but just not being able to talk and make public appearances. And so there was something where Kamala Harris was coming to speak, and there was this Native American woman. And so they're in a room speaking to a crowd of people, and a woman says, and now we're going to hear from the president. He's going to come on and speak and tell us, give us some words of encouragement or whatever. So I guess they wanted people to believe that Biden called them on the phone. And so you hear Biden's voice. You hear Biden's voice. It's not a conversation. He's not talking to anybody. There's no pauses. There's nobody can say anything to him. He can't ask anyone any questions. And then he inserted a little joke in there. I know some people talk about my age, even though I'm only 40 years old. And, clearly like something is scripted that he's reading. And he can't even do this on camera. Because when he's doing it on camera, he's looking. You can see him looking at something and reading something. And let's do whatever we got to do. Let's record this over and over and over, because he might be reading the instructions. Sit, stand, cheer 4 more years, and then you pause and you take your seat, and the kind of things that we've been seeing. And then something else that I've noticed, and you may have picked up on this too, because we talk to liberals, we talk to Democrat voters, and we tell them about stuff, whether you're talking about Charlottesville or coming up to something in 2024, and they want to argue with you and say, that's not what happened. I didn't see that, and then I just started thinking, so many people saying that, like, are we looking at the same thing? What's going on is their news sources are lying to them by editing and cutting it out. They're cutting stuff out. So people are literally not seeing. They're not seeing everything that's happening. Right. And that's one reason why, for you to want to get a true and honest story about something, you want to have multiple sources, including at least one from the left, from the right, one from the center, and then pay attention to where the overlap is. But I don't need, what I'm saying? I don't need something that's 5 or 10 minutes long after the person starts speaking. I don't need any of that edited. And they do a lot of that. They do a lot of, there's so much is cut out.
They do. They really do. And it was interesting. And I feel other folks saw it because I saw it too. But after the debates, I watched the debate all the way through. I watched Trump's acceptance speech at the RNC. And right after those, you have these pundits coming on telling you or explaining to you what you just saw. And purposefully, for what I did for the RNC convention when I watched Trump's acceptance speech, is I said, I'm turning them off. I don't need someone to tell me what I just saw. I know what I saw. I know what I took in. Right after. They don't even give you a moment to process it before they're telling you or analyzing it or breaking it down for what you should believe and what this meant and what that meant. And I just said, no, I don't need that. I saw it for myself. And as a point, you guys always go for the raw data. Go to C-SPAN. They have the raw data. Look for the raw data. Don't take, it's like taking a copy of a copy of a copy. Go to the raw data, look at it for yourself, and then you decide.
Right. And then, like right after it's over, it's like, now we're going to go to Gary Gnu to give you the narrative. I mean, what we think, what we want you to believe, and what we are going to tell you what you heard, But what I thought you were about to say is after the debate, how from that behind the scenes camera view that I was talking about before the show, with Jill Biden helping Joe down the steps, sidestepping.
Oh, yes.
And he's walking one step at a time, coming down. And then, this is a wide shot. And so off to the left, long distance, you see Trump. He's just walking out like George Jefferson. He's by himself. I don't need any assistance. And his wife is there, the host of Romper Room. Okay, boys and girls, what do we know Trump did? He lied. No, everybody in lockstep. He lied. And Joe, you said every word. You talked about everything. You're such a good little boy.
You did so good. You answered every question. You did so good.
That's what you said.
Like a babysitter.
And then Joe turns and looks at Claudia.
Looking for his ice cream.
Did I? Yeah, you did. Right.
Where's my ice cream? I did good, Mom. I did good. So yeah.
Oh, did you know when the announcement was made, or when Biden said that he was stepping down, the day he did that was National Ice Cream Day. Now I don't know if that was planned.
Yes.
Or maybe it's because all right.
Right.
And if I'd have known that, I would have gone to Baskin Robbins.
Hey, right? Get a free ice cream cone.
Yeah, right. Let me get Joe. Let me get Biden sarsaparilla. A couple of scoops of that.
Right. There you go.
I heard something. Most of what I have seen has been Kamala coming in, and she's being groomed now, and everything is set up like she's about to be sworn in. But I also have heard some talk about Joe Manchin. So is he somebody that has been considered for the position, or what's going on with Manchin?
Joe Manchin was one who was a Democrat, a solid Democrat, except when it came to the issue of, because I think he's in for either Virginia or West Virginia, except when it came to the issue of fossil fuels and that sort of thing, because if I understand correctly, and viewers correct me if I'm wrong, I think for West Virginia is big on fossil fuels, on, I think, oil, on coal, on those kinds of things. So he didn't want anybody, or he didn't want any plans of the Democrats to step on that. So he's a Democrat except for that issue. Well, initially, I thought it was rumored he was going to run for president. And I want to say it was early on before all of this went down with Biden. Well, now he's come forward and says, well, no, I'm not going to run for president now. So it's like he's one of many that are clearing the path for Kamala to kind of go through and rise up to be president or whatever, or run for president. And as a side note with that, I don't know, and hopefully they will know by the convention, who her VP running mate is going to be. Because right now, what you have now is you have everyone that has cleared a path for her, but they don't know who her second in command is going to be. So that, I think, is a problem. That should be a problem for the donors. It should be a problem for the regular Democrats. It should be a problem for the superdelegates. But it's a problem for America. No one knows who her VP running mate is going to be. Yet and still, they cleared the path for it. That's a problem.
Yeah. So this all has come down the pipes relatively fast. I think that her VP is going to be picked by the convention. You say it's not till August, not for a few weeks. They can tell her who her VP is going to be pretty quickly, and that's what's going to happen. They're going to give her her orders and her walking papers, and also whoever it is it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
somebody other than someone that represents the majority of America. In other words, it's not going to be a woman because she's a woman. It's not going to be a white person. It may be a trans person. So they're going to put
Maybe.
together. They may try to do a double entendre in this person, but it's just for optics. So whoever it is going to be something, other than a woman or a white person, and not
I think that's reasonable.
and not black and not Indian. So
Right. Even though, and you guys, she is Indian, not Native American. She is Indian.
Right.
Her father is Jamaican. That does not equal African American. Even though she identifies as Black, Asian, Jamaican, and Indian, whatever. Well, if she can do that, then y'all need to apologize to Rachel Dolezal, who claimed she was a Black woman. So, she wanted to identify, but everybody jumped down Rachel's throat because of that. But nobody's jumping down Kamala's throat. Why is it? There's the inconsistency. It's a problem.
Well, they have, I think Joe Biden said that she's the first Black vice president, and they considered or referred to Kamala as Black and Obama as Black. Even though he's just as much European as he is African, she's just as much Indian as she is Jamaican. But that's because of the numbers. And she talks like she's a part of Black culture. Now, I didn't know her before she got into politics. I don't know what she's really like. It's really not important to us conservatives, and you know that. But it is to them.
Right.
I mean, Hillary Clinton, she would travel around the country, and depending on the accent of the region of America, she would change the way she was talking.
Absolutely, she would.
And purposely for the visit onto the Breakfast Club had some McGill, what's the name of that brand? The Tabasco, McGill Henry.
Tabasco,
right?
Henry,
right. And then, and then I don't know if you remember this. Just talk about Hillary for a quick second. I don't know if you remember this.
Sure.
Charlemagne said, "Oh, so you really carry hot sauce in your purse? What are you trying to pander to Black people?" And she said, "Is it working?" I ain't even going to deny it.
Right.
Like, come on.
What is it?
Let's take the sheet off. No shame.
No shame at all.
It ain't no
but
secret.
She went to the Black church. Remember, she went to the Black church and she said, "I ain't no ways tired." And everybody's like, "Oh my God." It's like, y'all, it should take more.
I forgot about that.
It should take more than that. Yes, she did. It should be harder. It should be more difficult than that.
Oh,
but
boy.
Apparently for some it's not. Yeah.
When I see a bunch of brown people in a large multitude of a crowd, I don't see individuals. I see one type of person, and I'm going to tell you how you are. And that's what it is.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Let me corral everybody into this one big crowd, and you are this monolithic thinking and singular behavior type of people.
Exactly.
And instead of listen, it's impossible to do what Joe Biden said he was going to do and bring everybody together. It's impossible to do that, but divide everyone into separate groups.
That's it.
There's segregation. Segregation among them. And there was a thing, with being in denial or trying to pull the wool over people's eyes in the 60s where they would say separate but equal in the same sentence.
Yeah.
And you can't be.
Yeah.
You can't. So, they talk about, they accuse Republicans of dividing people and all of that. If you really want to bring people together, you will address them as Americans.
That's it.
Right? It's a cliched phrase saying my fellow Americans, but really, instead of saying
that's what it is.
I'm talking to this group now and this group, and now let me go over here and tell these people what they want to hear. You don't have to do that because we all have the same basic needs. And whatever
Exactly.
differences among us are cultural and trivial.
That's exactly. And they are trivial. We have more in common than we
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
So, but they're insistent on drawing these lines, arbitrary or whatever lines, just to divide, just like you said.
Yeah.
Continually divide. It's not right.
Divide and conquer. It
And
makes
that's
it
what
much
they're doing.
easier to
And,
conquer.
and you know what? If we don't get it together, we're either gonna hang. We're either gonna hang together or hang separately. So
Yeah.
we got to figure this out. We've got to figure this out.
Just get one big
Yeah.
noose.
Right. Exactly. So,
Hey, check this
wow.
out. So this is something I just heard yesterday. This is similar to, you remember when the recording of the woman who found out that Obama was elected, that he won and he was going to be president, and she said, "Oh my goodness, no, I don't have to worry about paying my mortgage. I don't have to worry about
Right. I
putting
remember
gas
that.
in my car." So just
Yes.
a crazy, bat stupid kind of reaction like that. This is a
Right.
woman who had a meltdown when she found out that Biden was bowing out. Okay, so take a, and this is from another show, so you may hear a couple other guys, but this is this is her. She made this herself.
Okay.
She made this herself to post on social media. So here we go.
He's dropped out! He dropped out! Joe Biden, please! Gen Z, we need to band together! Please! He was for Gen Z's first president!
All right, boy, this is just the beginning of ridiculousness.
Right.
It might be related to that woman who got down on her knees on Inauguration Day when Trump was sworn in and said, "No."
No.
It might be related. I don't know.
Oh my
Man.
gosh, she must be fun to live in somebody's head rent free. It has to be fun. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's yeah.
And people
Yeah.
are so short sighted. And I remember when Obama he had been in office less than a year, and he said campaigning is very different than leading or running. I mean, it shouldn't be too different, but just when you're on a campaign trail, and then when you get in office, every president, that first 6 months they get in there, some stuff came at them that they didn't have a guidebook for, and caught them by surprise.
Makes
And
sense.
so,
Yes.
Yes,
it did.
whoever the president is, I'm always optimistic about
Mhm.
how they're going to do. I'm hoping that they will see the weight that's on their shoulders, see that they have 340 million people in front of them and wanting to do the best thing for
Right.
the country. And you know what?
Yes.
If the president wanted to, even if they were a puppet, they could get in there and turn things over and make a decision to do the right thing when they know it's wrong. Now,
Absolutely, they could.
now,
Absolutely.
if somebody's in their first term, their first 4 years, and they're just thinking about, they already start campaigning for the second term when they first get in there, and they like, I'm going
Right.
to play ball. I'm going to play ball and slop up whatever you want me to get down with. Just let me know and play that game. Then that's different. That's an unfortunate thing. But yeah, I guess if Kamala gets elected, she could run 2 terms in a row. I mean, she could get in there and then end up doing a second term, end up doing another 4 years.
Yeah.
Do I
if
think she
gets
will
in there.
win? No, I don't. However, I've
Right.
been surprised before. I've been
Right.
surprised.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah, there's that. Hang on, folks. It's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's never a dull moment, and these are unprecedented times, as people like to say, but they truly are. I mean, this hasn't happened in our lifetimes. I know. I
Yeah.
mean, we've seen some things, but we haven't seen enough. We haven't seen anything like this. And the thing is, it's happening so quickly. All this stuff
Yeah.
is happening so very quickly.
Right.
So yeah,
Right. Not just
I encourage everybody to work.
Yeah, not just with Biden, but when you think about what a short time ago it was that Trump was on trial and the verdict happened,
Right.
and then there was this narrative about the convicted felon, like that
Right.
had never happened
Yes.
to a former president or whatever. So that was going on, and then the debate maybe less than a month after that. It's kind of like rapid
Right.
fire. Like all of these things, are happening on both sides so much and so
Sure.
often. Right. And I got another clip. This is a video. We're not able to show it here, but this is Kamala Harris. And I want to do this a little differently. So this is a video where originally it's like 19 minutes. Not gonna play anything close to that. And it's her talking the majority of the time. It's her talking. This is what I want to do. I've listened to this video already. I just want to jump in at different places and see if you can understand what she's saying. Anything different or more mature or out of the level of the yellow school buses or the passage of time. Because that's still how she's talking. What is thing where she's announcing that she's going to be running for president now. So I'm just going to randomly go to different parts of the video and we'll see what Kam Kam is saying. And, let me know if you can make sense of this.
Recognize some of the elected. I'm going to get back to you. So let me please acknowledge some extraordinary national leaders who are also dear friends, both to the president and to me.
Gonna skip over
John
that.
Carney, where are you? There you are. And campaign office on a regular basis. And I know Joe is so thankful to them for their lifelong friendship, but I want to thank them also because you guys have really been carrying some heavy. I love Joe Biden, and I know we all do, and we have so many darn good reasons for loving Joe Biden. And I say that this team will be the reason we win in November. You all who are here. And as Julie always says, and I will quote the great Julie, we are one team, one fight. One fight. Integrity, his commitment to his faith, his family, his big heart.
This is 7 minutes in.
And his deep love of our country. And I don't need to tell you all, Joe's background, right? I mean, he grew up in a middle-class family in Scranton. And he has never forgotten where he comes from. And so, again, I am a first-hand witness from being with him in the Oval Office to the Situation Room and seeing him on the global stage with world leaders. President Joe Biden fights for the American people, and we are deeply, deeply grateful.
When he's not falling asleep in front of prime ministers overseas.
Right. Or tripping upstairs. or tripping downstairs.
Looking around, wondering where he is. And somebody calls his name and doesn't know whether to exit stage right or stage left.
Or stage, exactly.
Yeah. So, still talking about Kamala. This is the same speech, 19 minutes long. I'm jumping in different parts and we're trying to make sense of it at different times. It's almost like a rally. There's not much substance.
Joe, are you watching? You hear this clapping? Can you see it?
I'm watching. I'm watching. We love you,
It's a party for friends and family.
It's a party.
And let us be very clear, Joe is not done Far from it. He knows there is still more work to do, and our nation will continue to praise his bold and visionary leadership as president. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
God, he can't even be there. Like, so, okay, we got a live feed now to Joe on his deathbed. Joe, are you up there? Are you in ICU? Can we get a feed? And
Right.
you just hear him. I imagine somebody laying on their back. You know,
Right.
there's still work to do. He can't go on a golf course and even play a game of 18 holes because he's fixing the country. Yeah, we believe that. Yeah.
Right. He's not done taking us out yet. We're gasping our last breaths. He's not done taking us out. He's going to send Kamala to finish the job. Goodness, we're watching the season finale of America right now. Seriously, but it's just
Kam, I got the dagger halfway in. Can you come and push down on the handle? And so that she comes, like when you give somebody CPR and do like this with your hands. Choo-choo.
right. It's just taking us out.
Plunge it.
Gosh, man,
Yeah.
help us. Help us.
Oh, let's see. This is. I'm just going to play a little bit more of this. I'm just jumping around.
Okay.
California, I specialize in cases involving sexual abuse. Donald Trump was found liable by a jury for committing sexual abuse. As Attorney General of California, I took on one of our country's largest for-profit colleges and put it out of business. Donald Trump ran a for-profit college, Trump University, that was forced to pay $25 million to the students it scammed. As district attorney, to go after polluters, I created one of the first environmental justice units in our nation. Donald Trump stood in Mar-a-Lago and told big oil lobbyists he would do their bidding for a $1 billion campaign contribution. During the foreclosure crisis, I took on the big Wall Street banks and won $20 billion for California families, holding those banks accountable for fraud. Donald Trump was just found guilty of 34 counts of fraud. But make no mistake, all of that being said, this campaign is not just about us versus Donald Trump. There is more to this campaign than that.
All right, so that was just in the last couple of days. And one thing that I want to mention, when I hear about fraud, because that's not everything that was with the trial and what was going on, but they were trying to say that he committed fraud for over-evaluating real estate properties, which people that don't haggle and don't understand how real estate works, they don't know what's involved with that. It's like you're talking to somebody, you're trying to negotiate and do business, and you go high, they go low, and then you try to, there's an agreement. And so people do that. People do that. That's a part of it. Anybody who deals in real estate notices that. But they couldn't. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Kevin O'Leary, the guy from Shark Tank, says that's not against the law because they do it all the time. And an appraisal, just like it is for a house, is all subjective. So it's like whatever the market will bear. That's what it is. So that's not, like you said, that's not a crime. That's not against the law.
Right. Yeah. But, look at what Trump has been through. He was found guilty in this trial where this Judge Merchant, is left-wing judge in New York, gave the jury unconstitutional instructions when he was telling them, listen, if there are 3 things in the category and you think he's guilty of just one, decide that he's guilty on all 3. Right. Clearly somebody, they're trying to distract Trump so that he couldn't campaign. And of course, there's going to be an appeal for this because they know that what they were doing was wrong. But I'm just saying, after the verdict with that, people obviously don't care when you look at the polls. After he's, has this conviction, this title hanging over him. And, after the debate, and he still has a lot of support. The whole thing with the trial and coming after him, that obviously backfired. And so people don't care about that. And as in another capacity that you and I work, earlier today, there was this this thing about just a survey with college students and how they care more about the economy than they do LGBT issues. Really? Really? You mean we all go to the same gas pumps? And you mean climate change and all this social stuff, we don't care about that more than having a good job and for the prices of things at the grocery store to be low?
Right. Exactly.
There's a priority to this. So people don't care about that. It's just, it's been this way since before this generation was born. There's a common thing where, that's one of the reasons we smile on the 1950s. It was so prosperous. No war going on. This capitalist, well-oiled engine was running smooth with supply and demand, and it was able to do what it does. So that's weak, and just obviously people don't care about that. But remember, in the hustle and bustle of everything that the Democrats are dealing with now, they're still going to try to come out with something 2 weeks before the election, drop some bomb about Trump, something that we supposedly didn't already know.
Right. A black swan event. I think that's what they call it. A black swan event. Yes. Black swan event. Something's going to come up and it's supposed to, it's just ridiculous. And hope we don't find out a black swan event about Kamala. Because, at the last election during this time, it was the media held back the Hunter Biden laptop.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to know what's on the laptop, go to BidenLaptopEmails.com and you can see raw data for yourself. So, but yeah, they hid that one. They hid that and everything that was on that laptop. And the folks, social media was shadow banning people because of that information. They were shadow banning the New York Post, even though the story was true. So again, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And the media is not covering for Trump like they do for the Democrats.
And Kamala is going to be put under a microscope because you have to be analyzed and scrutinized by the American people if you want to be the officeress in chief. If you want to take that throne in the Oval Office, and we're electing you as a public servant to work for us and to make decisions and have the nuclear codes and everything that comes with it.
Right.
Everything that comes with. So, and watch how soon from the time, not even, after the election gets here, watch from today, how soon when she's checked or try to be held accountable for something or challenged on issues that people, Democrats are going to cry racism and I don't know what do you call it when you attack somebody because they're a woman? Like, is there a name for that?
Right. Yeah. What, misogyny or something? I don't know. Who knows? Just
all these hate titles. Yeah.
Right. Well, Joy Reid has already played the race card. She says if you don't vote for, probably the equivalent of if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Probably the equivalent of that. That's what it is. Black folks who vote for Trump or Republicans, they need to do this, that, and the other. Again, that's racism. Believing just because somebody's color is a certain way or their gender is whatever it is, then they should vote a certain way. That's racism. Pure and simple.
Sure is.
It is.
Yeah.
So with that, thank you guys for listening to this episode of Brutally Honest Talk Radio. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you listen to us on YouTube. Also follow us on social media. We're at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. We hope to see you there.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for checking out the show. And please send us emails if you want to let us know anything at brutehonest@gmail.com. And also, please leave comments in the comments section on
Absolutely.
YouTube. And we will try to respond to as many as we can, as well as we want you to follow us on Facebook and be a part of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, definitely leave those comments on YouTube. Like Elmo said, we will reply back to you. And hopefully on a later show, we can address a lot of those comments in person on this show. That would be great. We hope you guys have a great week and see you next time.
Take care.